welcome back to the basement, the friendliest place on YouTube.
Hey everyone.
Hi everybody. Arthur was asking earlier if this is pre-recorded, and I specifically was going to call you out and say no, it's not.
No, we are alive. Thank you very much.
Good to see all you guys. 60 people watching right now, which is fantastic.
That's awesome.
So, if you guys don't know, my wife and I and a few basement dwellers and our kids have been playing a game over the last month and a half called Nerd Fitness. It's a game that Lisa and I kind of made up, and it combines the nerdiness of rolling dice and leveling up and experience points and bosses with becoming abnormally healthy. So that's kind of the point of Nerd Fitness.
So, yeah, it was kind of born out of us wanting to not just get into shape for a season, but really develop the habits of health and fitness. So we went for something that was kind of long-term. And yeah, we're here to do an update. And I haven't actually been on one of these videos yet. So
wow.
This is fun.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Oh, my brother's birthday is coming up. I'm getting him Breath of the Wild and DLCs. Should I get him Fierce Deity or Ocarina of Time amiibo? Ooh, I mean, both of those are cool. I don't know. I'd say Ocarina of Time. Yeah, and I heard there are some updates to Animal Crossing coming soon. What's up, Nintendo 207? So, here's the point of this stream today. The plan that you start with is rarely the plan that you finish with.
Okay, guys, this is important. Say it again.
The plan that you start with is rarely the plan that you finish with.
And this goes for everything in life. I'm totally interrupting you, but I don't care.
That's fine. You do your thing.
You told me to treat this like we were podcasting.
That's true.
And this is how this goes.
Yeah, it's true. So if you guys don't know, my wife and I also have a podcast that focuses around helping people build lasting legacies. But if you want to check out more about that, we can plug that.
Yeah,
it's legacybuildersinternational.com. Legacybuildersintl.com is where you can find that podcast. It's also family friendly, but it's also a little more adult oriented as far as what the topics are.
Yeah.
But it's like parenting and stuff, but it's really, really good.
Yeah, but what we realized a long time ago is when you start with a plan, usually the plan isn't the same plan by the end. And part of it's because you get started, you realize what's working, and you want to double down on that, and you realize what's not working, and we need to adjust those things. And if we're not willing to adjust, then basically we're willing to say we'd rather stick with something broken than find what actually works. So today's kind of an adjustment day, kind of updating you on some things that we're finding that are working, and then some things that are not.
And we're going to use the Nerd Fitness points and all the different things that happen in Nerd Fitness to kind of like change the trajectory. So first, I'm going to go and show you guys what wasn't really working.
Mm-hmm. And two, if you're doing this and you're finding there's some stuff working for you and some stuff aren't, pay attention to what we're saying, because
this is going to help you adjust your stuff. Sub to the basement. I got this hat from one of our viewers. I think Beastman gave me the hat. Amelia says hi to you, Lisa.
Hey there. It's good to see you.
Okay.
Well, good to see your name.
So here is a list of the points that I earned from when we started on June 7th. And I was doing pretty good on points. 8 points one day, 44 the next, 44 the next, 30, then 0, 0. Then 25, 32, 25, 26, 15, 0, 0. Then 44, and then zeros all the way through the end of June, and even yesterday, at the beginning of July. So looking at these numbers, it looked like what I was running into is, one, getting any points is good. So the fact that I got some points means that I've been being healthier and eating better and running and doing push-ups and like all the stuff that was going to help me achieve my goal. But seeing all of these zeros in a row tells me that maybe the initial luster of becoming abnormally healthy wore off, which I sort of figured would probably happen. That happens to me about anything that's new. But specifically with this, so what I realized is that I need to adjust the plan to make it so this doesn't happen anymore, so that way I have a consistent, healthy routine that I'm doing.
Now mine looks very similar. I was having some good days, I will say, and this isn't meant to be an excuse, but it is something that we recognized. That last week in June, we went on vacation for a few days.
Yeah.
And while we were up there, we went hiking, we went canoeing, we went on
Swimming.
walks every day, we went swimming. Like, we were actually really active.
Right.
But because our plan doesn't include for any exercise that happens in normal life, we didn't gain any points for any of the activity that we did do.
Right.
And so for me, I was like, okay, I need to make an adjustment because I don't want exercise to just be something that we do. We're either exercising or we're not. I want to have it be we take our kids hiking.
Yeah, we have a lifestyle that just we naturally do healthy things because they're fun.
Active. We take a canoe out. Like, we like doing that stuff, and so we need to make sure that we're incorporating that as well.
Yep, and I'll add this as well. Like, I see a few of you guys like, oh, I haven't started and with this yet, and that stuff. Like, that's totally fine. Just start. Like, that's now. The biggest thing. Start now. Start today. Get the sheet. Start filling it out. Figure out what your different goals are that you're going for and all that stuff. But so here are the adjustments that I'm going to be making a little bit to this. So I'm looking at this thing. The running 1 mile a day is really, really good, and the amount of points that I get for that is accurate.
And you were doing that pretty consistently up until vacation and then the humidity. But now our gym is open again.
Right. And then I also learned, I did a little bit of research into burpees, and I found out that doing 15 burpees 2 times a day separated by 6 hours is actually not very helpful for your body because you want to actually like work yourself up into a little bit of, a sweat and that kind of stuff. And if you only do 15, it's like sprinting for 20 seconds and then stopping. Like, it's not really great for you. It doesn't really help. So I'm going to adjust this. I'm not going to separate them by 6 hours, and I'm actually going to do 3 reps of 15. So 15 burpees 3 times in 15 minutes. So I can do burpees, take a little break. Burpees, take a little break. Burpees, take a little break. And that's going to earn me 5 points, which is cool. I like this too because I'm going to be able to look at that and say, this is only going to take 15 minutes. That'll be good. All right. Eating less than 1,500 calories. I started realizing what was happening with this is I was going, well, I've got 26 points. Why am I going to not eat whatever I want now? Like, I have a multiplier down here that says that if I earn the food points 6 days in a row, I get 10% multiplier on the entire 6 days. So that's really good because I want to be consistent with the food stuff. But what I realized is that I need to make this something that is highly motivating every day because this is my biggest challenge is the amount of food. I like food. I like eating it.
And we're both good cooks.
Right. I'm a really good cook. So I like eating the food that I make. So eating less than 1,500 calories, the amount is right, but something needs to change here, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. So I put down possibly make it a multiplier for the day. And we had talked about this a little bit, like making, instead of having the gallon of water be the 10% multiplier for the day, having the water just be worth some points.
Yeah, I think
and
that
then
you could
have
just
the food
flip those
also be a
two things,
multiplier.
and that would be like having the water be up top and then the food down at the bottom. I like it. Amelia Pond said that she includes yard work, yoga, and Ring Fit.
Nice. You're really gamifying it. We should probably get Ring Fit.
I don't know what that is.
It's for the Switch.
Oh.
So remember the Wii Fit?
Yeah.
Remember how fun that was with the balance board and stuff?
That was fun.
Okay, the Ring Fit, you put the Joy-Cons in a ring, and it's like a resistance ring that you can like sprung, you can pull and whatever and push. And they have like bow and arrow games, they have like driving games, they have games where you gotta run and squeeze this at the same time, and it measures your running steps because the Joy-Cons have all the innards inside. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. We'll see you later, Harriet. That's okay. You can always catch up on this later. Luigi. Hey, Ted, I love my own cooking too. Yeah, I mean, I cook things that I like to eat, and then I eat them. That's how it goes. So if I want to drink 1 gallon of water throughout the day, and that's going to be worth 8 points. And here's why. Like, it's not actually hard for me to drink the water. But if I make it worth 8 points to drink the water, I'm going to do it.
Right.
Because it's pretty easy, and it's worth a lot of points. And what I have found is this is like the singular thing that when I do that, all the other stuff becomes easier. When I'm drinking lots of water, it's all of a sudden it's easier to eat less food because I'm actually hydrated, right?
So that's how a lot of life is too. Just a little life hack trick. If you can find the one thing that makes everything else easier, put as much priority on that one thing as possible. Start with that. So for this, it's water. We just know if Ted drinks more water, everything else is going to become easier. Depending on what you have to do, whether it's schoolwork or other types of work, if you have one thing that makes everything else easier, like you don't have to make decisions, you don't have to try and figure out what the next step is, just always be asking yourself, what's the one thing that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? And that's not my quote. That's from the book The One Thing by Gary Keller. I remembered Keller.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal book. But as you're going through this, if you're realizing, man, exercise has been rough or whatever, what's one thing that you could do that would make it easier? Now, for me, my one thing that I have to adjust is actually bringing my exercise clothes into our office. Because our bedroom is upstairs, our office is on the main floor, and it's kind of disconnected from the rest of our house. So the issue is that I'd be in the office where I work during the day. I'd be like, I'm going to take a break and do some exercising. And I'd be wearing jeans or like other just
not great clothes. High heels.
Not great clothes.
Time to do burpees, and I'm in heels.
Just not great clothes. Where if I have gym clothes nearby, then I can just change quick, do the stuff, and whatever. I just don't wear leggings or stretch pants or sweatpants. I feel like I cannot be productive in work and do that. I don't have a problem with other people who do. Just for me, I know it doesn't work.
You have to be dressed up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have to feel a little bit more put together. So, not that people who aren't put together. It's totally my own mental thing. But that's the change that I have to make, is get stuff into the main floor so that I'm not. It's the easy thing. If I do that one thing, everything else becomes easier, and that's gonna make it better. All right, what else you got?
Okay, so here's what I'm doing. So I'm ranking up this multiplier a little bit because here's what happens. I get hungry and then I start doing math. Like I normally don't do math unless it's my stomach telling me to do the math. So what happens is I'm like, I'm eating 1,500 calories.
The problem is that kind of math is like, how much can I get away with? Not what good decisions can I make?
Right. So here's what happens, right? If I get a 10% multiplier for eating 1,500 calories, I do the math and I realize out of 44 points, eating less than 1,500 calories is only worth 4 points.
Yeah.
Like that's not enough to really make me want to do it.
Right.
So I've got to up that a little bit, I think. And so I'm gonna actually just allow myself to earn a little bit more points per day. I wouldn't recommend this too much, but I'm gonna do a 20% multiplier. So that actually ends up being worth 8 or 9 points. So it could be like if I earn 44 points in a day, which is kind of the max normal points that I can earn, then I can get 9 points for eating the calories right, and that is the largest amount of points that I can get, just barely.
Yep.
It's just barely. So
just barely.
Yep. So I'm gonna do 20% multiplier for the day. But if I earn the multiplier 6 days in a row, I'll get a 10% multiplier for the whole week, which is gonna end up being like 40 points or 50, like an extra day worth of stuff. I suppose.
Yep. So part of it is I'm
gonna do 15.
to. Yep.
Because then it's more like a whole week, whole day's worth instead of less than a day.
You have to be willing to prioritize the things that are going to make the most difference for you. So yeah, we had Amelia. We had to buy workout clothes to make it more comfortable. That makes a big difference. And then my husband's decided to join me. Nice. That's awesome. Jogging together in the morning. Good for you.
So I don't know where this hat came from other than one of our viewers sent it to me. I saw a different version of this at Target that I bought for myself, or at least bought for me for a gift one day. But this one specifically, I don't know. But I'm guessing you could find it on Amazon. Just Zelda hats and find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, the one that I bought you was black with black embroidery.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just this is black and it doesn't have this on the back. And my hair's totally hat hair. But who cares?
100%.
It's July. So I added 15% multiplier there. So those are the adjustments I made. So now drinking water gives me points. Eating the calories gives me multipliers. 25 points, 6 days in a row, 2 times multiplier. Okay, and then the last thing that I needed to do was I needed to make sure for myself, this is my points here, that this doesn't happen, these big zeros all in a row.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is if I've earned less than 20 points 2 days in a row, I lose 20 points.
Okay. So then it really kicks you.
So that way it kicks me back into gear, and I at least need to earn 20 points.
Yeah. Because generally the first day isn't as hard. You know, it's over time, things kind of become a little bit
Right.
stagnant or they slow down.
If you earn. Keep going.
Oh, things slow down. And so if you can get something, not just the positive for when you're doing things right, like the multipliers, but also have something that kind of keeps you from staying negative. Negative for too long. Like kind of having something, it's kind of like a guardrail for you once you realize you start getting off.
Yep.
track.
And the other thing that I realized I need to do is, for myself, I need to track not just like how many points are needed for each thing, but like at what XP number I'm at for each
So you know
of these.
what level you're at and stuff.
Yeah, so this is 215. This is 3. Can you help me do the math here real quick? You're good at
Can't
math.
you just make a formula and make it match? Here, I'll do it very quick.
Sweet.
Okay.
Awesome. I'm going to talk to you guys.
Watch.
Okay, Kevin says, play more Zelda. Yes, we will. Actually, Peter and I just recorded the final episode of Wind Waker last night. Funny, I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. So we got together and we recorded last night. We opened some mail, which was awesome.
I won't let you because you have the letters XP in there.
All right, well, let's go through and take XP out.
Well, I'll keep doing it then
Okay.
if that's what you want to do.
Yep. So we recorded the mail video, and then we recorded a couple Breath of the Wild videos, and one of them was just us laughing and blowing up and falling down hills, which was great. We got a suggestion from a viewer named Nate something or other that said to fall down near Vomito onto those spikes that kind of come up out of the water, and it created some really funny things, and we just ended up doing that for an entire episode. And then after that, we recorded the final couple episodes of Wind Waker. So now we're done with that. We're talking about starting up Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or another Zelda game in lieu of that one, putting that in that spot. Yay! Thank you, Lisa, for doing that. That's great. So now I'll know, based on how many points I'm at,
There you go.
I'll know how many points I'm at, which level I'm at. So I have a 293. So I'm level 3.
Yay!
Actually, I'm level 4.
Yay!
Holy cow.
You went up then.
I did. Okay. I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. Wow. I didn't realize.
See what else? Someone earlier said, the animator gamer said they ordered a basement hoodie.
Oh, nice.
Well, they wrote booty. I'm guessing they mean hoodie.
Yeah,
awesome.
probably. Awesome.
Ted has a couple new things coming up.
Yeah, we're going to
They're
be
exciting. Sorry.
So we are working with a person to do to help us make some merch, and here is a picture of the new mugs that are going to be available soon. Oh, you can't see it very well because of the green screen.
Oh,
But
they're back out. No, like you can just explain it.
it's a black mug with the Basement logo, but it's also green on the inside of the mug.
It looks really cool.
Sorry, I said booty. That's totally fine. But yeah, and
We
then
know
we're
you're
going to
bad.
be doing, we're going to move all of our store stuff over to there because I think it'll make a lot of the items cheaper for you guys, which is great.
And some of the items will be the same, some won't, so there'll be some mix. So awesome job getting a hoodie now.
The thing I'm
Because
looking
some
forward
things are going to be
to,
switching over.
hopefully, if the price is right and we can make it work, is Basements. Little tin, like an Altoids tin, but it's going to have Basement branding and stuff on it, and it will hold mints in it. So there'll be Base Mints, the
Get it, guys?
freshliest breath on YouTube. But guys, so that's the adjustments to mine, and that starts today. So if I earn less than 20 points between today and tomorrow, I'm going to lose 20 points of experience. So you can go down levels. Ugh, don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And
So, yeah, I'm excited.
I think I'm gonna
keep.
keep some workout clothing in the office too, because this is where I tend to go like, oh, I should do some burpees, and then I'm like, but I'm wearing pants. That doesn't work unless I want to rip my pants. That's not good.
It's true.
Make like a
So-
SpongeBob and I ripped my pants. Ah! He always does that in that one episode where he rips his pants.
Ugh, that's annoying.
Can I please know what is happening? Richard, just start at the beginning of the video. And
Yeah,
follow
you're
along.
going to have to watch a little bit.
But anyways, yeah, so other than that, things have been working great. Like the rolling the dice, super fun. I love doing that. I love earning the extra points on those days where I know I have the time to do it.
So for me, rolling the dice, Ted has like the D20 is like the easiest workout, If he gets a 1, it's almost
Extra hard. It's bad.
I hate it. So all of mine are the same. Like I have 5 exercises and I view them all equally and I just rotate through all of the numbers because I don't like it. I don't like rolling a dice and having something bad happen.
Right.
Or good even. Like I just want to be exercise focused. And that's something where you have to know, like we're each different. It's okay.
Right. And Lisa, you and I later are probably going to go over yours and help kind of readjust a couple things as well, just because I know that you've said that some of the things aren't working and that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to kind of get back on the horse here and make sure that we get all the way to level 10 and get that boss beat. When I do the 5K where I'm actually running against the boss, I am planning on trying to stream that.
All right.
I have a thought on how to do that.
Go for it.
What I'll probably end up doing is setting up a camera, like my phone, and like so they can see the laps or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll get like a headset or something, and you could watch me sweat and breathe for the whole time.
Great. That'll be fun.
But Amelia says I don't do the dice either.
Yeah,
It's true.
I do them. I get it though, because at first I was like, I'm not doing that. And then I was like, well, I could do it as long as I know that either way I'm doing 3 exercises and they're all going to take about the same amount of effort.
Right.
Like,
and it's about the same, like, it just kind of mixes it up. It's a way to mix it up. For me, it's a way to gamify it. But I love the fact that you're doing Ring Fit as a thing. We do need to add, and like, we might be able, like, maybe I can trade out probably the run a mile for a family activity that is healthy.
Yeah, like we'll have to,
my runs are pretty well. No, I shouldn't do that.
not necessarily that.
Assisted
but we
push-ups,
do have to,
probably.
Yeah, we have to figure out something because when we were up north, like we
We were
went on a
doing
couple actual
things.
canoe treks. We went up. There's a really cool place where you hike up a trail, like quite a bit, and it's uphill for a good chunk of it. And you get this beautiful view of the lake that we were on, and none of it counted. And we're like, but we're sore and exercising.
And I'm lifting the canoe out of the water, and I like kind of sort of half threw out my back. Ooh, I want to show you guys this. So, Do So Confidently, another YouTuber and friend of ours, made this awesome Animal Crossing pouch, the bell bag, and this is where I keep all my dice. Because it's got to be extra nerdy, right? Mm-hmm. And so I keep all my little dice pouches inside of here. And so I can just kind of pull them out.
He has all of them.
I got a whole set of like really nerdy dice, which is perfect for this game. So I just wanted to show you guys that because that was fun. All right.
Funny.
Well, I think that just about covers it. So here's my encouragement to you guys. If you're doing nerd fitness, revisit it, see what's working, see what's not working, and make small adjustments. Don't just make it easier to make it easier, but try to make it better.
Yeah, make it better. Don't just cross stuff out, but replace it with things that are going to inspire you and encourage you.
Yep.
Remember what your end goal is. When you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, remember why you started in the first place.
Right.
And just kind of allow that to motivate you.
Yeah, and like, for example, me changing the assisted push-up, like making it so I can trade out assisted push-ups for a family active activity. I was originally thinking I would change out the run a mile for that so I could like trade that one out. But if my boss is running a 5K, I need to be running a mile every day. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just how that's going to go. So until next time, Basement Dwellers, hopefully you guys are getting abnormally healthy with us. And until next time, we think that you guys are more grotesquely buff than
SpongeBob when he soaks up too much water and then tries to fight someone, because I'm sure that happened in some sort of episode at one time or another.